everyone, welcome to the Movieception Show. My name is Fariva, and tonight we're watching episode 4 of House of Dragon Season 2, which means we're already getting down to the halfway point, and let's just say I'm super excited for tonight's episode, because if you have actually seen the previews for the episode we're about to watch tonight, you'll know that we're about to watch perhaps the first battle, the first ever battle that we're about to see on screen that will basically spark this war. And that's considering the fact that last episode, we know for a fact what happened. We actually had that unexpected confrontation between Rhaenyra and Alicent. They met up at the Sept, and that's where they really figured out and established what really happened, what Viserys was trying to say, and now we know what is really going to be the deal. We know that Rhaenyra, at this point, knows for a fact that she legitimately was supposed to be the heir to the Iron Throne. Her father had never changed her mind, as Alicent had suggested. And so she knows for a fact going into this war that she is supposed to be on the throne, not Aegon. Whereas Alicent now is going to have to deal with this, basically this guilt that she may have just single-handedly destroyed Westeros because of this misunderstanding from her. And that's, I mean, as much as I dislike Alicent, I will at least say for a fact that, you know, misunderstandings happened. And this is also suggesting basically this big thing that, you know, maybe we should just stop calling every generation of kids Aegon, you know? So many Aegons. So, yeah, so just because of a misunderstanding that happened in that night of Viserys' death, this has now sparked a whole Targaryen conflict. It's inevitable, as Alicent herself said, and now we're about to really get down to the juicy bits. So yeah, I'm not going to wait any longer. I'm not going to talk any more longer. So without further ado, let's get right down into episode 4 of House of Dragon Season 2. This is not far off from Dany's vision, if you remember that from, was it season 2?
What? I can't understand.
She's back again, yay.
Stop.
What the heck? That's how Daemon feels about Rhaenyra? What? Okay. Oh man, the talking head.
Well and healthy than I expected.
This is Oscar Tully, grandson to Grover Tully. He is heir to Riverrun and the future Lord Paramount of the Riverlands.
Caitlyn's
His Grace,
descendant.
the King, consort.
Yes, gods be good.
Well, my time is short and I have need of an army. Perhaps you might place a feather pillow over his head and speed along your inheritance.
I love my grandsire, like a father, while he still lives. That is not our way.
Then you're of no use to me. I can see why the Blackwoods and the Brackens did not fear to start a war beneath the nose of their liege lords. House Tully is a fish with no head. Remind me which of your countrymen claim to fight in the name.
Princess, if we're holding to formalities.
Apologies, Princess.
And you are Alan.
Yes.
Yes.
You did not think to mention it.
I did not think it relevant.
I know who he is, Corliss. Alan's past is no fault of his.
Still. Where has that woman gone?
I suspect to try and draw us all back from the abyss.
As requested. I brewed it myself.
Thank you. I will see it delivered discreetly.
Do report if the recipient has need of any remedy. The tea is known to disagree with the gut.
I shall observe the girl closely.
Is she pregnant?
Grand Maester, Do you believe Viserys wanted Aegon to succeed him?
She's still questioning, huh?
I could not know. His Grace never raised the matter with me.
Get out of the Lulu. We all know that Aegon was not meant to be the king. He was not suited to be the king. Oh, shit. So is she pregnant? I think she's... Okay, she's basically having an abortion. Oh, man, Alicent.
Death.
World cold.
Sadly, no.
Sacking your queen's own castles and putting up people to the sword. Kingmaker.
I like that guy. And fuck
You're
Kriston.
not fit for the white cloak.
Traitor deserves. You should thank me for it.
Yours will come in kind.
Please curse him. And my hatred for Kriston grows. Cannot wait to see him dead.
Knowledge to the west.
Indeed it is.
Okay.
Fuck you. I told you we should have sent our... It's your fucking castle!
Well, that castle is more crippled than I am, Your Grace. It's like to drive Daemon to madness as he attempts to make use of it, which is beyond his faculties. It is also penniless, as I happily control all of its gold. So, as Harrenhal saps Daemon's resolve, the false queen remains trapped on her island, and Sir Criston continues flying behind armies of men.
No. Have him turn about. I want Harrenhal back.
God is already preparing his attack.
How do you know this?
He sent word to me.
To you?
The two of you have been plotting without my authority.
You're like, what the fuck?
Nuke coston vividus. Segiton.
Rook's Rest is an easy target. But a worthy effort. Don't you agree, my king?
As much as I hate them, they're right. That's a very good plan. And I hate it.
Too far, I fear.
That is a rich indulgence. But I believe it is a sin to deny your appetites.
And the king. We should all pray for his victory and safe return.
Indeed. You have not seemed yourself of late.
Only weeks ago, my lord husband was alive, and the realm was at peace.
It's been weeks.
Now I've barely had the hours to grieve one tragedy. If not his love, then certainly an abiding interest.
She's trying
the
to
voice of
figure out.
history guided Viserys. He knew that his wisdom alone could only reach so far.
Do you think that is how the realm would react to her
It's
succession?
impossible to know what steered his thoughts in those final hours.
Do you now doubt his intentions?
Many will die, and the victor will eventually ascend the throne. The significance of Viserys' intentions died with him.
I hate her, but she's right. No matter what, there's gonna be people who are gonna put Aegon up, so.
Yes, it
More visions? Is Patty back? Is Patty back? They just meshed him and Aemond. Wow.
It's a touch late to be talking about it. I inherited the duties after the last one fled in the night.
Fled? Why?
Just never settled in. Harrenhal's been cursed since its first stone was laid.
There he is.
Black Hand felled the grove of weirwood trees that grew on these lands. Of note?
You are a strange kind of woman.
I'm no woman at all. I'm a barn owl. Cursed to live in human form. Quarreling with your wife.
What?
You arrive here alone to claim the castle and yet send no ravens. I plan to make your own claim. Perhaps to prove yourself to her.
Do not try me with your insolence, witch.
It's a hard thing, I imagine. And a woman too, a girl child you bounced on your knee. I mean, does it please you that her legitimacy is contested as you stand here with a castle if you're to win this place to your side?
Well, that worked.
I was given to understand that you wanted an army.
Well, who doesn't these days? You Blackwoods certainly never miss a chance to bloody your swords. Do you?
Some 20 years ago, my lord bent the bush with Seleno. I was like her spirit. She had the true blood of the dragon.
And you're prepared to march without the leave of your lord.
She's back. Lena's back.
Your grace. And once you moved,
with no thought to the centuries of knowledge in those pages.
She really wants answers about this prince that was promised, huh? She needs answers. That's what she wants.
I removed them. I didn't burn them. Do their campaign without seeking my aid or even my thoughts.
What thoughts would you have?
I'm the king.
Do you think simply wearing the crown imbues you with wisdom?
Oh, shit.
And strive to learn from the more studied minds around you, in the hope that you might be half the king your father was.
Tread carefully.
Or what? You'll hang me as you did your rat catchers, or have me banished as you did your hand. I ruled in your opinions in council. You have no idea the sacrifices that were made to put you on that throne.
What?
Nothing.
Where have you been? These last days? You vanished without so much as a word.
I apologize for my... Queen Alicent and sue for peace.
You saw Alicent?
Yes, I did.
You could have been taken or slain.
I inherited 80 years of peace from my father. Before I was to end it, I needed to know that there was no other path. And now I do. It remains to me. Either I win my claim or die.
We stand at the ready.
Cole's victories have only emboldened him. He marches on
On the mainland.
He is brazen.
He is daring us to act.
We need to send a dragon.
you die, all is lost. Send me.
No.
I will burn Cole's lines and withdraw before King's Landing could even
You lack
raise
the
the alarm.
experience.
You must send me, Your Grace.
No.
Rhaenys is your largest dragon and no stranger to battle.
Oh my god. Tensions are brewing. Oh my god. Ooh.
I never told you
Ooh,
because
dragons.
I was unsure that I believed it myself. Succeed him. He held to this the whole of his life.
I know, she knows for sure.
My father believed that I alone was meant to be this protector.
They're 1,500 strong at least, my lord.
Aegon the Conqueror's dream. He called it the Song of Ice and Fire.
But who's the dragon?
For the seven hells with you, Cole! You may as well have sounded horns one.
Dragons! But holy jeez, I'm so scared for Rhaena. Ah, fuck! It's big R.
Forward, Sunfire!
Your king has joined you! Hold to your courage! Hold to your wits! For the seven have blessed and shielded this host with divine purpose! For the one true king, Aegon!
Wow, that was quite some damage! Holy shit! Oh, fuck.
We'll best get you to cover, my lord.
You got it!
Rhaena, run! You cannot beat that dragon. You gotta go.
Ancos Velis.
Oh. He's fucking alive.
The king has fallen. We must find him.
Oh, fuck.
Aemond!
Okay, at least I can be happy about something. I know. Wow. Okay. All right. I needed like at least a good 20 minutes to process that because I'm dealing with a lot of emotions right now. I don't think I felt this much emotions in like a long time. Yeah. At least when it comes to House of the Dragon, I don't think I felt this kind of emotion until I guess not since maybe season 6 of Game of Thrones. So yeah, I do apologize for a lot of that crying. I mean, I guess we can talk about what we just saw. So we just saw the battle finally has begun. We've had fatalities. And so you can tell how I'm feeling in the moment because I know that Rhaenys was someone who a lot of us had, really truly respected because as much as the fact that the crown was taken from her, she's someone who was really wise, very insightful about things, and she knew what to do in the moment. And despite all the shit that happened to her and her family, especially with what happened to Laena and Lenore, or at least what she thought happened to Laena and Lenore, it's like she could have gone off against Rhaenyra and never supported her, but she ended up supporting to the end. And I have to say, like, that moment, like, she could have actually escaped, she had the chance, but she decided that she was going to fight to the last breath. And so, I mean, I think what really hit it so hard is the fact that she's communicating with Meleys and seeing, oh my god, it's really hard to process just that moment, because I think it's just that moment alone that I'm just kind of like trying to deal with. But But just that moment where she and Melise have such understanding, and I think that's what really broke me here, because it's like they both were willing to fight to the end if it meant even their own deaths. And we saw Rhaenys is gone. She was basically like the default hand of the queen from the looks of it. So that's gonna be a very complicated situation there for Rhaenyra now that she is unfortunately gone. She's now the first major fatality for Team Black. So that is going to be a really big problem. And I mean, it's going to be a matter of how everyone's going to respond. Because let's be honest. I mean, I think there's no doubt that Team Black have definitely delayed far too much into really striking. And I think there's no way of denying that, because had they actually struck early on as they should have, then maybe, you know, they wouldn't have lost the castle. But I think right now it's a matter of, okay, well, she lost this battle. I think we can definitely say that this battle was won by Team Black, although again we saw what happened to Aegon. I'll talk about Aegon in a second, but this is definitely a Team Green win, which really sucks as someone who's a Team Black person. Yeah, it really sucks. But again, this is just the beginning of the war. Anything can still happen. I mean, we've seen in history where, you know, one side starts out really strong and then things take a whole U-turn for the other side at a matter of minutes. And it's just a matter of what happens in terms of like resources and tactics and strategy and the people around who's making those decisions. So again, we'll see how it continues to culminate as we get more and more into the Civil War. But yeah, the Rhaenyra Rhaenys Targaryen death definitely hit me, especially just, I think it's not just a matter of like, again, it's just one thing because I really love that character. She's someone who I've really truly loved as a character, someone who really knew what to do, but also just the way that she really respects her dragon. She isn't using it as a tool. She really was close to it, and just to see her and Melise and their downfall in this episode, it's just that really hit me. I don't know, it just really hit me. So yeah, I know it's not just gonna be me. I know a lot of people, especially those who are in Team Black, are going to feel a lot of emotions, are gonna be mourning her death for a while, especially at least for a week. I wonder how Rhaenyra is going to respond, because I think that's gonna be the first thing that comes in my head, how she's going to respond. I feel like from what we've seen in some of the previews, she's going to start attacking very hard, so I hope that's going to be the case. I think that if anything, this could also be a wake-up call for Team Black. So it's now, okay, well, Rhaenys is gone, Daemon is off in Harrenhal ignoring Rhaenyra because of that whole conflict they have and how he really wants the crown for himself from the looks of it, and we'll talk about that in a second. But right now, I think Rhaenyra is in a very vulnerable position. I think she's right now in the most vulnerable position at the moment, and now it's just a matter of, okay, how will things be responded? I haven't seen the preview yet. I'll probably watch it right after this, but yeah, so that's the big takeaway from that. The battle was absolutely great. I mean, does it compare to some of the things that we saw in Game of Thrones? I mean, it goes up there. I think what really makes this one so unique, of course, is that we actually got a dragon battle. That's not to say that we haven't seen them before. I mean, we've seen them before with Daenerys, but this one is really where we got dragon to dragon fighting, and I think this is like their first exposure to seeing dragons being very active in battle, especially in a way like we saw in here. Like, it's just Targaryens versus Targaryens, dragons versus dragons, all that sort of stuff. And again, we'll see what happens to Aegon. I think he's still alive from the looks of it. He's not dead. I think he might be like brutally wounded, if anything. He looks brutally wounded. So we'll see what happens with that. Even what was it? His dragon's name is like Skyfire or Sunfire or something. We'll see what happens to her. I mean, again, also brutally injured. Like, you can see kind of like I guess there's a word for it, and I can't remember it from the top of my head because I'm in a lot of emotions. But you can see how the pain that their riders are being manifested into their dragons. So We're seeing that. I don't know what happened. I guess Vhagar is also injured from what I've seen. Like at least there was some impact from below when Meleys attacked. Aemond. Well, now he's 2 for 2, which freaking irritates me. But yeah, I think that's all I can say about the battle right there. It's just like terrible loss. A bit too late to really react, but now we'll see what happens with Rhaenyra when she hears the news about Rhaenys and Meleys and what's going to happen afterwards. Are we going to finally get Daemon to finally freaking suit up and actually start talking to Rhaenyra again? Because he's just being a baby at this point, just with how he is, shutting off Rhaenyra and how he's, being so, hurt about something that, it's basically been settled. So again, we'll see what happens with that. I mean, with the whole Harrenhal scene with his visions and what's going on. Again, I feel like the whole thing with last week's episode was like a foreshadow of some sort. So I don't know if he's going to be coming out of Harrenhal at any point or if he's just going to be there for the rest of this whole series. Well, hopefully he gets out. I mean, I feel like he's just sitting there. Maybe, who knows? Maybe he is the weapon that Rhaenyra needs. Maybe he's just plotting something from behind that could actually become a surprise attack. Who knows? Maybe something good might come out of the whole Harrenhal stuff. But right now, Daemon's kind of just sitting there. Of course, he's dealing with all those visions, how he's feeling conflicted about the fact that Rhaenyra was chosen over him. That seems to be a grudge that he still has. I mean, we saw that way back in episode 2, where even Rhaenyra was basically, spewing the truth, speaking out true words, saying that, he is just a pathetic person who, there's a reason why he wasn't chosen as Viserys' heir, for a reason, right? He wasn't even trusted by his own brother, and he didn't even know anything about the prince that was promised stuff. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Daemon. I mean, he's just being a big baby at this point. He's just being dumbass. But yeah, hopefully something comes out of that. Rhaenyra's back, of course, finally taking action. I mean, that's what we all expected. She now knows for a fact that she is meant to be the heir to the Iron Throne. So as to whether or not she'll be able to attack in a far more, profound way, we'll see. Again, I don't think this is going to be the end of it. We're going to see more dragon battles without a doubt. We are now literally in the dances of the dragons. It's happening. It's here. Has now started. So lots more dragon battles are going to happen. So we'll see about that. Alicent, yeah, I'm pretty sure she was pregnant with Kriston's kid. So yeah, I mean, I will say for one thing, at least she is starting to acknowledge for a fact that Aegon is really just incompetent, and truly he was not meant to be the king. And I think she's now starting to accept that. And I mean, again, you can't really blame her for having that misunderstanding with Viserys. That's not to say that I have changed my heart about her. I still do not like her, especially with what she did early on with Rhaenyra, and now it's like we're seeing basically Alicent commit like the same acts. It's like I don't care about what she does. I don't care what decision she makes about her, whatever. I think what really irks me is just that, we're now seeing her do things that she basically abused Rhaenyra for so many years, up until, the whole meeting with Viserys and that brief what was it, amending? I don't know. Right now my brain's still whatever, but yeah, so at least Alicent's starting to really consider it. It seems as though she's trying to understand what this prince that was promised thing is, because she's literally looking for all these history books. So she's trying to understand what was going on in Viserys' head, maybe. And I think that there's still a part of her that is really trying to accept what just happened in that meeting with Rhaenyra. Because, I mean, it's just like, okay, prince that was promised, whatever. And it's like, oh, there's some reason that must mean something, and now it's like she's trying to find answers, which I don't blame her for. She wants to feel as though she finally is understanding everything, although again, it's too late. There's no denying it. It's all too late. And she's right, it's all too late at this point. And we're seeing that right here. Like, there's just no turning back, and there's no way of finding any peace. So and I think we're even seeing here, like, even with this war, even though the fact that Rhaenyra is supposed to be heir to the throne, no matter what, there was going to be people who were going to dissent regarding her legitimacy to the throne. regardless, whether, because it had not even been for Viserys, you know, there could have been other people who would have questioned it. There could have been her father, Otto Hightower. There could have been people in the cabinet. There could have been some people who are still traditionalist, who don't consider women to be, you know, the heir. If there was, you know, a male heir, then why not use them? Like there's gonna be so many ways that people are going to make up their mind. People had already made up their mind, to be honest. I think Alice Sitton was correct on that. Like, people support Rhaenyra are going to support Rhaenyra. People who support Aegon are going to support Aegon. There's just no way that this war was not going to happen. So she's right. That's something that I think we can all agree upon, that there was no, like, no matter what, it was going to lead up to war. So that's that. What else? The fact that Aemond, I swear to God, I think Aemond's now really trying to kill his brother, and I don't really blame him for that, especially after what happened last episode, where he basically he basically taunted him because of, you know, and this is this taunting that he's going through, right? That he's dealing with, like, that's been going on for so many years, right? We saw this back in season 1, how they gave him the pig because he didn't have a dragon for so long, and then of course losing the eye and all that sort of, it's kind of becoming clear to Aemond that, you know, if there was one person who truly was bullying him profoundly, it was his brother. And it seems as though that he really wants to knock him out. So who knows? Will this mean that he would become the king? Who knows? But we can see how he himself is, because we saw it right here. Like, he honestly didn't even give a crap that his brother was involved in the battle. He was just like, you know what? I don't give a crap. I mean, if his brother's here, oh great! Like, he can now get his own kind of vengeance. As to how far this is gonna go, we don't know. But we also saw him kind of wanting to kill him, despite only to be stopped by Kriston. So, oh yeah, speaking of Kriston, he's still alive for another episode. So annoying. And I actually hate him even more now. So I can't tell, was Gwen dead? Because I don't know if that was him. I think that looked like him. I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to wait until the next episode to confirm if Gwen Hightower was actually one of the casualties. So I'm gonna have to check on that. But it looked as so that he's dead. So another fatality, one who I don't really give a crap about. If he is dead, great. I don't give a you know how I feel about the Hightowers. I don't care about the Hightowers. So yeah, that's probably what happened there. But yeah, overall, I think this was a really intense episode. I mean, lots of emotions. Lots and lots of emotions. And I think one of the great things about it is that even before we got to this big battle at the end, which again, it felt like episode 9 kind of thing, or like spoilers of war that we had in Game of Thrones. But this is almost kind of like a not a de facto 9, because it's definitely not a de facto 9, but it definitely felt like a false 9 episode where, you know, we always had those big battles that were just like chilling. And of course, this one came pretty early on. I mean, we're gonna have battles this whole season, so this is only just the beginning. But yeah, I think what really made this episode great is that it's not just the battle, but just the build up to it. Like, I think right before the battle, where we were kind of seeing the back and forth between Aegon and Rhaenyra, and how Rhaenyra was talking to Jace and telling him about the prince that was promised story. It's like, wow, like you can really feel the intensity building up, and how we ourselves are feeling, you know, the whole, you know, anxiety, the whole adrenaline-inducing moment as we're getting more and more closer to what is officially the first major battle. And so, yeah, I gotta say, incredible. I think I have to say, Emma D'Arcy, absolutely brilliant. I can't remember who the actor is. I know her name is like Best or something, but the one who played Rhaenys, incredible. I mean, she made me cry. When you make me cry, you did something. But yeah, it's gonna be one that's gonna take some days for me to take in because wow, like I didn't expect it to hit that hard for me, but we're truly now in the Targaryen Civil War. It's officially has now begun. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this episode. I hope some of you guys are doing okay, especially if you're in Team Black. I hope you're doing okay. Team Greens, I don't really care about y'all, but no, I'm kidding. But I mean, we both got some hits. Both sides got some sort of hits. So, but yeah, I'm gonna process this for a while. But let me know your thoughts having now watched this episode. Is this what you guys were anticipating to happen, especially those who have read the books? You know, for Fire and Blood, like, was this what you had expected? Because I know there's been a lot of people have been a bit indecisive about some of the changes that they made, but what do you feel about this part if you've actually read the book? Was this what you expected? What are your thoughts about Rhaenys' death right here? Are you still mourning like I am? Or like I'm still trying to process it, but yeah. What do you think is gonna be Rhaenyra's next move? Now we've seen what happened. We've now seen the first casualties. We've now seen the first acts of this war. Will Aegon? I mean, I don't really care about Aegon, but will Aegon recover from this? We'll probably have to see about that. Is Aemond set on to try and kill his brother in some form or some way? I mean, it looks like he's gonna try and do it at some point. And yeah, Alicent, like, do you think she's gonna finally find her answer? Will she finally accept what just happened in last week's episode? It seems as though she's trying to find some answers to that. And at some point will we see Daemon get into action? Let me know your thoughts below and make sure to like and subscribe.